Teresa. Teresa is an author, professional keynote speaker, certified personal trainer, master empowerment life coach, entrepreneur, and domestic violence survivor. She is dedicated to serving others and helping those globally find new direction by gathering immense strength within to start their journey away from toxic situations of abuse. She has more than 16 years of experience supporting domestic violence victims and survivors through her coaching, resources, and now this book project. She is on a mission to advocate and create awareness about the issue of domestic violence for healing to begin and continue. She lives with her husband, Cliff, in Sacramento, California, and a manager of rescue Furbabies, including her Siberian Husky, which her Husky is so
Two of them.
beautiful, Akira and Hachi, along with a collection of kitties all over shapes, sizes, and attitudes. Come walking in, Teresa. It's your time. I got to tell you, I have a precious book here. My Rock, My Hard Place.
Oh, right here.
My Journey Out of the Darkness, Surviving Domestic Violence Through Faith and the Love of Friends and Furbabies. Camille, I think you need to probably just like mute yourself, maybe. I'm seeing you on the screen, and it might just be there. Maybe there's just some little feedback if you can mute. Hey, so this is the book. Teresa is an author, and she's sharing so much about her journey here. So I actually get to interview her this morning, which is so, so good. Teresa, welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Camille, whoo, powerful stuff, girl. Whoo, Lordy.
Yeah. Teresa, can you give us some insight on your day-to-day from coming from this book and sharing so much about your story and about how you support others? Can I start you in a way of, I want to step into your story, but I just have a really quick question to get you going here is, how did you start your day-to-day when you're coming from a base of speaking about that you dealt with abuse in your life? What do you do in your day to get yourself presented and feeling like you're like, I'm gonna nail it today? Like, what's your morning been like getting going?
Well, I would like to first, before I forget, because I'm human and I will forget. Camille said something about ask for help. And one of my favorite quotes of all time is asking for help does not mean you are weak. It means you want to be strong. And I say that all the time to victims and survivors. I'm an advocate now. I have the voice. I have this captain of the cheerleader voice. And so asking for help does not mean you are weak. It means you want to be strong. So that being said, how I start my day, I firmly believe that the two most powerful words in the English language are I am. Because whatever you put after that is what is going to manifest itself. It's what you are going to believe in your heart. And I don't mean, oh yeah, I am beautiful. No, I want you to say it, and I do, say it loud enough so your neighbors are like, what the hell is she up to today? Oh my God. It has to be, I am beautiful. I am strong. I am amazing. That's how you have to start your day. And I'll be honest with you, you know what I do? And I don't even know if I have one here. A dry erase marker on your mirror in your bathroom, it comes right off. But while you're brushing your teeth, you look up there and you say it in your mind, You put that toothbrush down and you go, I am beautiful. I am a rock star. I am amazing. And another thing you can do too is anchoring. A lot of people don't understand anchoring. And what that means is as soon as I walk in my office and I turn that light switch on, time to work. As soon as I turn that light switch off, okay, I'm done for the day. So if you anchor, and that can be as simple as a football team going out onto the field and they all touch the sign, they touch their logo on the way onto the field. That's anchoring. That's all those emotions. And I got it. That's like a high five with someone. But you're high-fiving yourself. How cool is that? So, you know me, Rhonda. We've met in person. You know this is like me. This is who I am. I'm a crazy, wild out of control person. But
Woo,
I am
woo.
on I know, right? I am on a mission to be the voice for those 1 in 3 victims and all those survivors that are out there that are silently shaming themselves because of what they thought they did wrong. The only thing I did wrong was give my heart to the wrong person, and I gave it with the best intentions. I'm not embarrassed. I did nothing wrong. And actually, my worth went up after that domestic violence situation. If you put your price tag on and you're on the clearance rack at the Dollar Tree, and there is such a thing, I found it the other day. I was like, what is this? A clearance rack at the Dollar Tree? 50 cents? There's such a thing? But if you put that price tag on yourself, what's going to happen? You're going to have somebody that can only afford that. I don't know about y'all, but I'm in a cute little turquoise box with a white ribbon. I am Tiffany all day. I am Gucci all day. I am Louboutins all day. Don't walk in flip-flops if you want to be treated like you're a Louboutin. Don't do it. So that's how I start my day, every day.
Woo, woo. I love that, Teresa. It was such a good explanation. Oh, and I love that captain of the cheerleader. So you must have been doing some cheerleading in your
Well, I
days.
actually, as you can tell, I was captain of the cheerleaders for many years. And you know, the reason I started my book is when I was waiting for trial with my abuser, the district attorney said, you need to go to counseling. And I went, oh, I don't need counseling. I'm an athlete. I don't need counseling. I was a professional power lifter turned into a bodybuilder. I don't need counseling. I'm good. And I just don't. Within 5 minutes of sitting with this therapist, he says, oh, you need medication because you probably have PTSD. I went, well, I probably do, but I don't need medication. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And I went back to the district attorney and he said, ugh, I tell you what, you keep a journal. Well, that journal became this. And last year, this time, I actually heard someone speak and she said, if you have a project that is just back here somewhere, and every now and then it says, pull me off the shelf, pull it off the shelf, get it out, make it happen. So I tore this office apart looking for my book. Now it's been 17 years now since my abuse. It was on a CD-ROM. That's how old it was. Do you know how hard it is to find someone to print that? Oh my God. So I finally found FedEx, called the lady, and she said, come on down, I'll help you. So I'm like this, you know, because this is my life. And I'm like this, I'm nervous, a couple tears. And I said, here you go, here you go. And of course she pulled it up on the screen and of course she read it. You know, she read a couple lines and she put her hand on mine and she said, I got you, girl. She said, not only can I print this, but I can put it on a flash drive. And I went, oh, a flash drive? Really? So she takes me over to the shelves and she says, pick one. And I'm looking. And I look down at the bottom. She says, oh, those are for kids. I said, no, this is for me. Can you guys see this? It's
Yes.
Wonder Woman. This is what I needed to have at that moment in my life. So she sits on my desk and she's been there because it's been almost a year since I had her printed. And then I looked for an editor. I found a survivor. She lives actually on the East Coast and we made this happen. So that's what started the whole thing.
Okay, so as you're speaking, we have some incredible stuff here. Let's see. So Cheryl says, amen, Teresa, I am so proud of you overcoming that trauma and using it to help others. Noreen says, wonderful. And she's saying the journal became like, of course it became your book. Yeah, I mean, your journal is like all about everything that you've experienced. I love it. Camille says, you are amazing, Teresa. Teresa, what would you like to share? I would really love to learn more about you coming from the dark and getting into more of the light and actually becoming this full vibrato of energy that you're sharing here today. What are some of the steps you could give people around the shaming and first off, just kind of sharing your story and then maybe stepping into that part of starting to clear your shaming?
Well, when I was going through domestic violence, I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. I was very shameful. I didn't know what I had done wrong. And then the catalyst was one day I tried to help him, and the national statistic is you go back 7 times. That's an average. And I hit 7. And I just couldn't help him anymore. I had lost me. And I refer to the Beatles, and I don't know if anybody's a Beatle fan on here, but Eleanor Rigby keeps a mask by the door and goes out for her day and comes back in and takes it off. And that's what I felt like. This is the real me, but I couldn't be the real me in my house. So I was so ashamed of living that double life and having to wear that mask. I was very fortunate that I still had my profession. I was still a certified trainer. I was still a competitive athlete, but I was two different I was a different person. I was two different people. And it just did not feel right. And I went through all the different types of abuse. And a lot of people think, oh, well, he's not hitting me. It's not abuse. Let me tell you, it's abuse if he's degrading you, that verbal, emotional, financial, social, pet abuse. My husky, and if you go on my website, you'll see a picture of him. He lost his eye because of domestic violence. The husband bought the husky at 8 weeks old for the wife. The wife pissed the husband off, and he beat the dog. So pet abuse is real. But there's a new one now, technological abuse. They use your phone, they track you, they blow your phone up, they get your passwords, they pull your bank account, they do all kinds of things. So the shame was there with all of that. And the being humiliated. I remember one of the times when the ambulance came and got me, everybody kind of didn't want to make eye contact with me. And that hurt me to my core, because you see how I am. I love people. I love to share. I love to serve. And to have them not look at me, to see through me, just broke my heart, that I had allowed someone else to make me feel this way inside. That's why I titled my book, My Rock, My Hard Place, because I allowed someone else. I enabled someone else to put me in that position.
Yeah. The analogy of giving my heart to the wrong person, Camille says I can relate with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if anything, and that even is not something I did wrong, because as I said, we do that with the best intentions. And then a lot of people, when they get out of a domestic violence situation, and the shame is still there, the humiliation is still there, the embarrassment is still there, they don't realize that it's okay to grieve over the loss of what you thought that relationship was going to be. A lot of people think, oh, so don't waste another moment on him. No, it's not him. It's the loss of my relationship that I thought was going to happen.
I love that
And you
education.
have to get rid of all that.
And it's like you're educating people as you go along the way too. I hear what you're saying. Like you're going through your process, and people are like, "I'll just move on," and you're expressing that. No, it really is. That's the process of moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go into that next layer then about the work that you're doing out there? You are doing some travels, and you're doing different things to get to people physically, and I know you're doing these online things also. And we are on the base of the shaming, like working around the shaming thing. So if you can bring that and layer that in on what you're doing out there in your 401 513BC, whatever that is, your nonprofit also that you're doing. I love this stuff, because you're also looking for support and people that want to support this journey that you're on in getting the information out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I started my book, it was very important to me that I add in data, real raw data, because a lot of people are like, oh, domestic violence isn't that bad. It's not that prevalent. Oh, girl, last year, this time, it was 1 in 4 women. 1 in 7 men. This year, this time, it's 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men experience domestic violence. Honestly, Rhonda, I read that and I got mad. No, I didn't get mad. I got so angry that it's 2023. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we're allowing this. And not only are we allowing it here, and I love that you're called Global Vision, because this is a global problem. It's a global issue. And unfortunately, in some cultures, you don't speak up against your husband or your wife. You just don't. And unfortunately, that's where that shame, humiliation, and embarrassment comes in, because that's when everybody looks away from you. That's when everybody looks through you. And that just breaks your heart. So I said, I have to do more. So I started Survive, Rise to Thrive. So you can go on my website, surviverisetothrive.com. We do virtual workshops, and it's interesting. In just 2 days, we have another one, which is Saturday morning. And we have started a series for the whole year, and it's Reinvent Your Life. And we touched on Reclaim Your Dreams. But this one is refocus on you, putting yourself first, mind, body, and spirit. And how important is that you realize your worth? We're back to that whole thing. I don't need to be shamed. I don't need to be told anything bad. If you're not involved in domestic violence and you tell a survivor or a victim, why don't you just leave? Why didn't you leave sooner? You're not helping the situation. Just be there for them, because they are so, they already feel enough. They're already feeling more than you could ever put on them. And I like to say, and I love this analogy, Wonder Woman, her bracelets, something comes bad at you, I got you. Just get rid of it. Just make it go away, because I'm bigger than that. I'm bigger than you. You know, you have to remember that shame is only allowed inside of you if you allow it. So again, you know, that cone of silence, put those bracelets on, do whatever you have to do your affirmations, do your anchoring, do your meditation, and create that cloud and speakers linking arms, that community. And I look at my website or my workshops. We also have in-person retreats that we're going to start in January. And right now they're going to be in California, and we're working on actually Texas, Camille, and also the East Coast. So they're for survivors. And we do have one huge area that we talk about, the embarrassment and the shame, because that's, once you get past that paradigm, once you break through that, the sky's the limit. You can do anything. You have to remember that you have the power inside of you. And a lot of victims don't realize it just takes one step every day in the right direction. And that's what Survive, Rise to Thrive, that's our purpose. That's our mission, is to be there with you every step of the way. We help and link legal services. We help with family justice centers in the larger cities. We work with shelters across the country. We work with fostering and boarding pets of victims so they can leave and both them and their pets can get out safe and together.
Oh, I love that. I had a little bit of technical stuff going there, so sorry about that. Teresa, I love hearing how you are serving this world in what we were talking about, how the stats have changed from like the extreme of what's been happening lately. I had to exit out. There's something happened with my internet. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I hope I'm in the right trajectory here. So with you going out there and making those changes, what are some of the things that you're starting to notice about your work and some of the transformation, some of the stories that you have about what's been going on that you've been able to change or update, or, you know, help an individual or help a group? I'd love to hear some of the steps you're seeing as you're getting out there and very active.
I am all over social media and of course my website, and I get messages every single day, every single hour. Hi, I don't know what to do. I'm at this stage, I'm at that stage. I left, but now I need to go back because I'm pregnant and I'm this and then that, whatever. And one story that will forever, and I'm saying that it's going to stick with me forever. I had someone reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, and she says, I've been watching your posts. I need help. I said, okay, let's talk. And her name is Brandy. And she said, I can get to my uncle's house in Virginia. She was a couple states away, but I don't know how to do that. I got you. I got her to her uncle's house, and she was safe. Her abuser had no idea where she was. She started all types of legal proceedings in that state. She was allowed to leave, which I thought was amazing. And she said, well, I need a job. Let's work on your resume. So we Zoomed together, worked on her resume. The day she sent me the picture of her first day at work with the biggest smile on her face will forever be imprinted on my heart. It was worth it, because I started Survive, Rise to Thrive not to do anything other than help one person, and then help the next one, and then help the next one, and then help the next one. And then hopefully it would be a big, huge net, and everybody would help everybody else in this community, because we have to stick together. And I feel that I'm using my voice for those who are silent. So that is truly my story that will stick with me on my heart for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Last part here. I want to hear some of the healing points that you get as you're going along when you help these people, because I hear your heart right now. How does that, we're people out here, we've been talking about speaker locking arms and those things. And sometimes we get concerned about, like, well, it's not really about me. It's kind of like that transformation kind of a thing that we're talking about here. And sometimes shame kind of slows us down into really acknowledging, helping somebody smile, helping somebody survive, helping somebody, all these things. For you in your personal journey, what are you noticing for yourself as you are going through this? What are some of the healings that you're starting to feel for yourself as you're getting further and further away from this information that you share here in your book and the stuff you've had to deal with in your life? What are some of the learning nuggets you've been learning about yourself?
Well, it's interesting in my book, and I'm sure you've seen at the end of every chapter, I do have a little worksheet so that you're actually able to, just write down. Journaling is so important. What did you gather from this chapter? And so having to edit this book over and over and over again, I did all that. And actually each time, they always talk about the onion peeling the layers off. Well, it's kind of backwards when you're healing. You're making another skin, and not in a bad way, but you're making yourself stronger, and it's another layer of empowerment. And that's what I feel that I've been able to accomplish, because every time I help someone, I'm helping me. Let's be honest. I mean, let's be real. When I speak and when I talk to anyone, and I'll be in an Uber. I was in an Uber in Dallas in May and had a conversation with the Uber driver, and she was an actual court advocate for sexual abuse. And we had this amazing conversation, and she says, oh, you should be a speaker. You're really good. And I said, well, actually, I'm on my way to do something right now, but thank you. It was like so cool, but I came away and I was just a little bit stronger, and just a little bit, my light was stronger inside. My being tenacious as I am, it just made me want to do this even more. What else can I do? It's kind of like after I read the data, and it was like, what else can I do? Oh, I can do this, or let's do this, or I can partner with this person, or I can do that. And so each time, like when I met you, Rhonda, for example, I went, oh my gosh, I'm so happy and so blessed and grateful that I ran across this lady, and it was Facebook, for goodness sakes. And I believe that the universe puts people in your path for a reason. And, I was supposed to be here today. It wasn't on my calendar yet, but I was supposed to be here today. And each time I do something or speak something, or even packing up my books, I'm getting ready to travel to DC. I'm actually going to be speaking at Women's Authors Unite. And just packing that up, each thing I put in the suitcase, all the books, it was so empowering to me. I was like, it was a proud moment. And I think that's one thing also that we lose, along with being, so shameful. We lose being proud of ourselves, and a
Mm,
lot of survivors will say, oh, I don't know what to do. Just do one thing. Just do one thing, put it on your list, and don't call it a to-do list. Call
yeah.
it a to-do list. So when you check it off, you go, ta-da, and it's a celebration, even if it's the littlest thing. When I was going through domestic violence, I would drive past these beautiful condos twice a
Hmm.
day on my way to work and on my way home. And I would always say, gosh, I would love to live there. It looks so calm and peaceful, unlike my home life. The day I got those keys to that condo on the third floor with the balcony, I was so proud of myself. And that's when I took that sticky note off, Camille. I was like, I am not shameful anymore. I am proud of myself. And so that's kind of how all this has helped me.
Mm, breathing that in. Noreen was saying, your work is imprinted on many hearts. You're amazing. That's great. To-do list. I like having that list be
Yeah.
labeled, because
Well,
we
you
do
can actually get
forget
a
to
button that
celebrate
says
us.
ta-da, and you push on it and it
Ah,
says ta-da.
ta-da.
Right.
My friend, we're going to get a link in so people can connect with you, but I'd like to just hear that verbalization from you. Where where are you sending people today to be able to connect with you? And yeah, where is that?
Well, there's
What is it?
two websites you can go to, which is myrockmyhardplace.com, and that will take you actually to the book, which if you want to purchase the book, which is right here, you can actually go on surviverisetothrive.com. And anybody that is a listener and does purchase it today or tomorrow, I will personally sign it and send it out myself to you. You can also visit me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Survive, Rise to Thrive. And I do have a private Facebook group for victims and survivors. You have to, no scammers in there, no stalkers. We want to make sure it's a safe, judgment-free place for anyone that really is interested, either for themselves or for a loved one. So surviverisetothrive.com. You can see what we have upcoming. You can see our mission statement and our core values, which are so very important to me, and also some pictures, and of course the Huskies.
I love that. I love in your book the picture of you and your doggy, and I mean,
Oh, the
and
first page.
I love that everything that you do, you're at places to be able to have the help the fur babies, and also help the women. So that is beautiful that you're doing that in every location. That's incredible. So Camille says, thank you for reminding all of us to be proud of ourselves. We forget, don't we? Especially when we're talking about shaming, the silence, the quiet space of whatever goes on in that mind.
And
So
we
I
have to
appreciate
remember,
you. Hmm.
thank you. And we have to remember that it's not just women that experience domestic violence, men as well. And they have even more shame, because here they are, these big, strong guys, and they're not supposed to be, it's hardly ever physical. It's usually financial, it's verbal, it's emotional. And they are the last to speak up. So they're carrying around a lot of shame, a lot of embarrassment, a lot of humiliation. And I've seen it. I actually have partnered with survivor coaches, and there's two of them that are males. So we have to remember that it's not gender specific at all.
So Teresa, you're working with males also?
Yes.
Okay, got you, my friend. So
Mhm.
you're working with spirits out there
Yes.
that are working through this journey. I appreciate you so much, Teresa. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
can
for
hear
having
the
me.
cheerleader in your vocals. I love it. And so, and any donations or any things like that toward what your cause is, we'll make sure that we get that
Well, you can
information to
actually, on
them.
my website, there's a button to donate to our cause. And if you
Excellent.
donate through the SRT Foundation, we are a nonprofit. So I will make sure you get a receipt. You can also, anything that you donate helps, like, $10 will help us board a pet for a day. It also helps in, one of my goals is to get my retreats, which is a weekend retreat. I would love to be able to gift some stays for some survivors. That would be great.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you for giving all your love. I appreciate it.